I woke up that morning to a silence that was almost suffocating. Our home, the one I had built with Lucas over 2 years, felt alien, empty, stripped of the life and warmth it once held. Chairs, tables, even the little mementos we'd collected together, all gone. At first, I thought a burglary must have occurred, but the doors were still locked, and nothing was broken. Then I saw the note lying on the counter. Lucas's handwriting stared back at me, cold and final. Happy New Year, Natalie. I hope your fresh start treats you better than I did. I sank into the nearest chair, my heart hammering, my mind scrambling to process what I was seeing. The man who had shared my life through every challenge, the one I had trusted with my heart completely, had vanished overnight. No conversation, no warning, nothing. I needed to rewind, to remember how it all came to this point. 3 years earlier, I had been an eager intern at a mid-sized consulting firm, excited but nervous about the world ahead. Lucas was my project supervisor, intelligent, composed, quietly magnetic. I had tried to keep things strictly professional, but attraction has a way of creeping in, no matter how careful you are. Over a few months of collaborating, casual conversations turned into coffee breaks, and coffee breaks into long evenings together. 8 months after we first started seeing each other, he proposed on a snowy weekend getaway in the mountains. It was just us, a tiny cabin, and a love that felt boundless. Life after marriage accelerated. Lucas received a lucrative offer from a rival company, which meant a big pay raise and an upgrade to a bigger house in the suburbs. We began imagining a future with children, travels, and renovations. My career was also progressing, but the demands soon became heavier than I anticipated. Long hours at the office, restless nights, and the creeping pressure led me to lean on alcohol to relax. A glass of wine became a bottle over time. Lucas noticed, gently at first, then with growing concern. I waved it off, telling him I had everything under control. But I didn't. One night, everything came crashing down. I blacked out completely. That wake-up call forced me to confront the reality I'd been avoiding. I checked into a rehab program, stepping away from work for 6 months. The journey was grueling, emotionally and physically, but Lucas never left my side. He supported me, encouraged me, never once threatening to leave. His unwavering presence made me realize the depth of his love and patience. Returning to work was supposed to mark a fresh start, but my new manager, Ethan Carter, brought complications I hadn't anticipated. He was charismatic, experienced, and despite my protests, Lucas sensed something manipulative about him. I dismissed Lucas's concerns as jealousy. Ethan was energetic, engaging, and with a colleague on maternity leave, I found myself working late nights with him more often. We exchanged messages to keep projects on track, and my phone was almost always in hand. Lucas noticed. He asked me repeatedly who I was texting. I reassured him it was all professional, but a seed of doubt had taken root. One evening, after a heated argument with Lucas about trust, I found myself confiding in Ethan. I poured out my frustrations, the stress, the guilt, the strain I carried silently. I wasn't seeking romance, just understanding, but in a moment of raw emotion, I hugged him. Then, impulsively, I kissed him. Instantly, I regretted it. He mirrored my shame, and we silently agreed it was a mistake we wouldn't repeat. But pretending it had never happened couldn't erase the crack forming in my marriage. Whispers at work began, subtle at first but growing louder. Lucas eventually confronted me. I lied, downplaying everything as gossip, leaving out the kiss entirely. I convinced myself burying the truth would be enough. December came, and I tried desperately to repair the growing distance. I cooked Lucas's favorite meals, arranged cozy evenings, and promised to change teams after the current project. He seemed to relax, and we both agreed to start fresh in the new year. Then came the company's New Year's Eve party. Ethan suggested Lucas join, thinking it might help ease tension. I agreed, hopeful that it might mend the rift. The night began pleasantly enough. Drinks flowed, laughter filled the room, and I, having abstained from alcohol for over a year, decided one celebratory drink wouldn't hurt. 1 glass became 5. Lucas, visibly upset, tried to intervene. I brushed it off, insisting it was just New Year's fun. Hours later, caught between Lucas and Ethan, the line of professionalism blurred. By midnight, I hugged Ethan, kissed him again, and froze in horror as I saw Lucas's expression. The next morning, I woke to an empty home. The life we had built together had vanished in an instant. Furniture, keepsakes, our shared memories, all gone. Lucas's note was the only explanation. I tried calling him, leaving messages, but he didn't respond. I met Ethan later, who recounted the argument, the hug, the kiss, the moment that shattered everything. Lucas had left not out of impulsive anger, but because the trust that had once been the foundation of our love had been irreparably broken. Now, months later, I live in silence, surrounded by empty walls. I am sober, yet the emptiness is deeper than any hangover or craving ever was. Losing Lucas taught me a painful truth. Relationships aren't ended solely by betrayal but by secrecy, distance, and the reckless choices we fail to confront. When someone stands by you through your darkest hours, don't give them a reason to doubt your loyalty at your brightest.